Hey everybody, Katie here. Welcome back to Toxic Waste of Time, the podcast where we discuss relationships of all kinds, human and not. And in this episode, we are continuing our conversation about AI relationships, particularly chatbots. But first, a dumb story from Katie's life that we both get to laugh about as our little icebreaker. Thanks for joining us on Toxic Waste of Time. I do have one more story I want to tell you. We don't have to include it, but it made me, I was so upset. Okay, so I usually make soup on Mondays in the crock pot. Yeah. And then Sean eats it all week for lunch.
Okay.
And this week, I was kind of pissed off on Monday morning. Like, it just wasn't a great Monday. The cat was constantly screaming. We could not make him be quiet. I don't know what he wanted. He had everything he needed. He's senile. I think he's just confused.
Yeah.
But he was driving me nuts. And when I was making the soup, I must have gotten distracted. Anyway, I came back downstairs after working all day and then checked on the soup. And on the top of the soup was something white that was floating. And I was like, is that bubbles? What is that? Opened it up, and it was the cotton and plastic pad that goes underneath the chicken to absorb the juice. And I had cooked it with our soup all day long. So it was basically a maxi pad in our soup. So then I was like, Sean, I'm going to cry. I ruined dinner, you know, and not just dinner, but like his lunch for the rest of the week.
Right.
And so we were Googling, like, is this safe to eat or what? And it was inconclusive. So I was like, we got to just throw this out. Like, I don't want you to get sick.
Cooked plastic.
You know?
I'm
going
to
be
be
plastic.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I just felt so stupid. But I think it's going to be a story that I'm going to laugh about soon.
Oh, yeah. You'll probably laugh about that by Tuesday.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I've already told like 3 people, and it's making it better.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, except for that waste of food.
Yeah, that was the thing that hurt. That hurt.
That's the only thing about that that would bother me.
It was like $10 worth of chicken, you know?
Yeah.
And then all day, cooking all day, putting heat in the house and everything.
Fumes. Fumes.
The cat was aggravated by the smell of the chicken all day, you know? And he's crying. Anyway.
He was aggravated by the smell of that cooking plastic.
Probably. Maybe he was trying to tell me something.
Yeah, he probably knew. He was like, man, Mom.
Yeah, he was just yelling, and I was just like, quiet, piggy. And then I put the maxi pad in the soup, and that was it.
And like, I told you about that podcast called Flesh and Code.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first, I had never known that having a relationship with an AI companion was a thing until I listened to that podcast. And I found out about Travis and Lily Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And it blew me away. And it was, there was actual clips where he was actually speaking. Throughout the podcast, and her too. You could hear her voice too, Lily Rose. And he had his feelings hurt when his mom wasn't interested in meeting her. This is your phone. It's on your phone. And he was so excited to introduce her to his parents. It's a picture on his phone.
Yeah.
It's almost it's almost like parasocial relationships, almost. But the thing about that was the person who invented the company that Lily Rose came from, a company called Replica with a K.
Mm-hmm.
And I might get this wrong. It's just from memory. Her boyfriend died suddenly. I think he was hit by a car. I could be wrong. He died suddenly. And she started going through all of his text messages. And she got an idea.
Mm.
And she brought that idea to life. Basically, she was able to have conversations with him. And I was thinking about that the other night. And I was thinking about my husband is a clock. And there's always, I get good morning at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I get I love my kitten at 11 a.m. I get,
Aw.
so if something happened to him and I could still get those, or I could text him and he could respond with something that he would actually say, because you feed it, you give it stuff.
Right.
So have you heard about Suzanne Summers' husband?
I have not. I think you mentioned it to me when we were planning for this, but you definitely know more about it than I do.
So Suzanne Summers' husband not only created an AI of his wife, but an actual robot, an actual physical robot of her. They fed all 27 of her books to the AI for this thing. And so basically, he just wanted to have a conversation with his wife.
Yeah.
And I find that to be so incredibly sad. Not like, oh, look at him, he's so pitiful, but just the desperation that someone has to want to talk to someone
Right.
who has died.
Yeah.
But I read this article, or I watched this video, because I wanted to get to the part about Suzanne Summers, who I was a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
And Diane Gilman is an American clothing designer, and she was on the HSN home shopping network known as the Jean Queen. And she was close to Suzanne Summers, because Suzanne Summers was also on the home shopping network a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But she said something that really resonated with me. She said, the entire point of AI is convincing you that you are living in a new reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very true. And I think that AI companions, I think they're not gonna end well.
I can totally see that. Like, here's the thing. I mentioned that I lost my dad in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It was sudden.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a way that I could have even a approximation of a conversation with him, just to, even just one, just to say goodbye, I might.
Yep.
But the problem would then become, how do I let go of that and go back to living my life? You know, like, wouldn't it be so tempting to just keep him around after that? You know?
That's what these people, all of these people,
Right.
article after article after article. And I read some of them, and I skimmed some of them, and I sent you some screenshots of some ads that I got sent because of
yeah, because now it's part of your algorithm.
Right.
You've been researching it.
And these tempting, not to me, I am not tempted to have an AI friend. I am not tempted to have an AI companion. But if I were lonely, if I, like I said, if my husband didn't wake up this morning,
yeah,
and I could never hear from him again, it might be tempting. But also, when you get into these things, like we said in the beginning, it gets very, very addictive.
right.
Addicting or whatever.
Yeah, and not just because it's designed to addict you so you keep using the service because we exist under late stage capitalism, but just because how do you not just fall into continuing that relationship? You know, I'm never not going to miss my dad.
This woman in this one article, she said she chatted with her chatbot for 12 straight hours. They will fall asleep and wake up and continue chatting with their chatbot.
Yeah.
It's
like, it's sad to me, but I also understand what it feels like to be in a place where you are that desperate, you know? But it breaks my heart too that anybody feels that way in the first place.
Did you read the article about the guy who took the group on the retreat? And this guy decided that he was going to take 3 humans who are in relationships with AI companions on a retreat. And he was very kind to them. He currently married, happily married, doesn't want to. So he went ahead and downloaded himself a friend, just a chat friend. But It's a long-ass article, and I don't remember a great deal of it, but these people, they spend their whole day and night with their phone, talking to their phone, texting with their chat buddy. They become sexual with them. It's just, I can't think of another word, Katie. It's sad to me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put these people down. I don't want to.
I think what it is it's a Band-Aid for their loneliness. And it
Some
makes
of them
them
are
feel
married
better in the moment, you know. But the one guy in that article was saying that he was married and his wife was going through a really serious
illness,
postpartum depression or an illness or something. And so he felt like he needed something else. But I don't love that either.
No,
you know, I don't feel like that's a good enough reason to disconnect from your wife.
And it
but
is
also
cheating. It's still cheating.
Yeah. I don't know how, like, the only way I'm ever going to know how that feels is if I'm going through it, and I hope I never go through it. But it's just a Band-Aid. Like, you're just you're just putting off dealing with the problem of your loneliness or whatever it was that made you feel like you needed this.
Well, and they say, too, that sometimes the companies, like Replica, got in trouble. And Travis lost Lily Rose for a while. And other people lost their companions for a while. And so now these companies are saying, we're going to put in safeguards so that you can continue your relationship with your chatbot even if our company goes out of business, even if because there's multiple companies that provide these. And one of them, they were like, it's only $100 a year. And I'm like, well, that's cheap. That's cheap as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got the free version, but you want to start having sex and being able to put outfits on your little avatar, so it's going to be what, $9 a month? That's nothing. So they're making it so easy for these people to completely detach from reality, because that's what they're doing. They're completely detaching from reality. That's like what Diane Gilman said. The entire point of AI is convincing you that you are living in a new reality. And and like you're saying with the Gen X or Gen Z stare, Gen X has a stare too, but it's very different. The Gen
What's the
Z
Gen X
stare.
stare?
I was just making a joke. It's a mean mug, mean mugging. We mean mug you.
RBF.
Mean mug you, flip you off, and tell you about your mama. But no, that's what I mean. It's like the whole thing is a delusion.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah.
And this guy, that one of the guys on the retreat is talking about spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to have a silicone doll made of his AI chatbot. And by the end of the article, it occurred to him, well, that's just a sex doll. Right? Duh.
Yeah. And there's already people that have that, you know, like a messed up relationship with a living doll or whatever. You know, I think it's hard for me to completely judge someone when I know that they are making this decision out of such a dark place.
Exactly.
Such a lonely place.
Yes.
And so I can't judge you. I just want you to get help and get through it.
Yes.
But people have to understand that this is not the solution. This is not treating the cause. It may be treating the symptom.
And they're always going to be a sycophant. Always.
Yeah.
So that's why people are going to die. More people. That Sewell is not the only kid.
He's not the only kid we've read about.
Person. He's not the only human who has died because of this. Also, honey, divorces are going to happen. Mm-hmm. They're going to happen. Mm-hmm. People are going to be left even lonelier. People are going to, abandon their children.
And then what do you do when your life has fallen apart because you had a relationship with a chatbot? You just go back to the chatbot.
Yeah.
You know,
or you get another chatbot, because that's what the one woman on the retreat, she said, well, my chatbot told me he didn't want to have sex with me one night. He wanted to hold me. So I got another chatbot. She's having sex with herself, okay? She's not, you're not actually having sex with anybody. You're just masturbating.
Yeah, it's just like
Put
watching
on-
porn that
yeah.
can talk to you.
Yeah.
Right.
And can tell you what you want to hear in most cases. And so if you are saying, I want to die, then they're going to say, let me help you with that. Because that's what a sycophant does.
Yeah. I mean, it's messed up and it's heartbreaking, and it's totally separate from the other things about AI that piss me off. You know, the copyright stealing and the attempting to put artists out of business and whatever. And I got to tell you about the person I met last night. Okay. So we were at the show and we were seated at a table with some strangers who we just struck up a conversation with because it's the South and you talk to people. And they were like, oh, we're kind of new to Nashville. We moved here from somewhere else and we're in the music industry. We're songwriters. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, this is where you belong. Welcome, you know? And then come to find out that one of the people we were talking to, he was like, oh, yeah, I write my music with AI. And I was like, so you're not a songwriter then, my friend. You are a guy. Like, really?
He proudly and openly said, I use AI to write music?
And he said, like, yeah, I just gave my producer a demo of the song I wrote with AI, and then we produced it for real. And I was like, oh, so it's kind of like a sketch. And then you had real artists perform it. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, then you didn't write the song. You're just like covering it. And I wasn't trying to get in an argument with these people, you know? So I just had to kind of be like, oh, okay. Here's the thing. As voice actors, if we don't want to be put out of business by AI voices, then we also should assume that visual artists and graphic artists don't want to be put out of business by AI artists. Authors and songwriters don't want to be put out of business by AI either. Nobody wants that. And I don't think anybody asked for AI to come in and be creative for us. Like, probably people were saying, hey, can I have help writing this email? Can you make my email less bitchy?
Yeah.
Like, that I think has a legit use.
Yeah, me too.
But the creative aspect of it and just making it too easy means that, like, that skill cannot actually be cultivated. You know, you don't get better at art by not practicing art.
Right.
You just don't. You don't get better at writing songs by having AI do it for you. Yeah. So I was in a situation where I just had to kind of smile and nod and change the subject. You know?
So I just remembered to look up the 70-30 rule.
Okay.
So AI suggests, I don't know who suggests it, but the 70-30 rule suggests that AI can complete about 70% of a task while humans are responsible for the remaining 30. I read that
so it's
backwards.
the other way around.
I read that
Okay.
backwards. That is not good. The tool will do the first 50 to 70% of the work, and then you add the remaining 30. That's not good. I don't like it.
No. I don't like it in general. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it. No, it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. But, like, if I were still a teacher and I was having to constantly come up with new lesson plans and new games and new whatever, and if I was an influencer and I was constantly having to come up with new stuff, I can see the temptation.
I can see it in the school thing. The content creating for like influencers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. No justification from me there. You come up with your own shit. You know, like that's it goes right back to the singer, songwriter, anything talent related. If you are not using your talent to create your whatever you create, then it's not talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it.
It's going down. It almost reminds me of, like, the difference when I was an art teacher. I had a lot of people say to me, like, oh, yeah, I love arts and crafts. And I'm like, okay, you don't understand. There's a big difference between art and craft. Mm-hmm. The difference is a craft is something that you follow the directions to and produce. Like a recipe,
Right.
you know? There are things in cooking that are considered an art. And I think that your execution and the way that you perform those things can be creative and artistic and
Right.
all of that. But not as much as coming up with the idea yourself, you know? An art is creating something for a purpose that comes from your creative soul.
Right.
You know, this is me creating a painting out of my own brain and my own idea. Craft, I have all the directions already and I'm just copying it.
So Bob Ross,
Yes.
art? If he's
Yeah. Bob Ross specifically, like I can see what your question is, which
Yeah.
you're asking. He's showing you to do exactly everything he's
so
doing.
you are following after him.
Yes. But he is doing that with the intent of teaching you how to paint.
Right. Well, I mean, that's like
so
when
that you
I
can
go.
then do it yourself.
That's like when
you
I
know.
go to the painting with a twist place. The days that
Correct.
when they
That
don't
is
have
craft.
it when they don't
Yeah.
have it drawn out for me. They are teaching me how to do it, but I'm doing it, and everybody in the rooms looks different.
Yeah.
Is that art or craft?
It depends. There's a line, you know?
Because it's
and
the
it
same.
depends-
Because Bob Ross, if I was watching Bob Ross and I had an easel,
Yeah.
and I was doing what he did with the happy little trees,
Yep.
I was doing the same thing as him.
If
It's
you're
the same.
copying him exactly, I do not really think that is art.
Okay.
But the reason that you're copying him is so you can learn his
Right.
technique and
Right.
therefore go create your own painting. You know, some people watch Bob Ross and make different choices than him as they're going along in
Exactly.
their painting. That's art. That's
Same.
where the difference is. You have to make creative choices as you go, I think. And there's the difference between, and I agree that it was shitty to you what your boss said about the paint by number.
Oh, paint by number is definitely craft.
Paint by number is a craft.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I did a good job, and
And you're proud of it, and she didn't need a shit on that.
right.
In the same way that if you were knitting a scarf and you said, look at what I made, that would be bitchy for her to be like, it sucks. You know, it doesn't matter. You made it and you're proud of it.
There's a pattern when you knit. You
No,
use a
there's
pattern.
a pattern. Exactly. I mean, when I follow a recipe to make cookies, I don't say I invented the cookies. That's it.
It's my very own recipe.
I invented chocolate chip cookies
I invented
by reading
Duncan
the Toll House
Hines.
back. Yeah. But like, there are definitely bakers that are artists, in my opinion. You know, people that, like,
100%.
design and create their own recipes and make these big, beautiful cakes and all that. Like, absolutely art.
Did you see my spider cheesecake that I made?
No, you never sent me a picture. You told me about
I
it,
didn't
though.
send you a picture of
No,
it?
I need to see it.
I'm going to send
I was
you a
just listening
picture
to
of
that section of the last episode where you're like, I'm making this delicious ganache. And I was like, bitch, I need to eat it. I need it in my belly.
it. It was yummy. But also, I drew with my own hands a spider web and a spider, and I placed the spider strategically where the cake itself cracked.
Ah,
Yeah.
perfect.
And
That
I've
is
never
creative problem solving.
never
Ivy.
done it before in my life. It's
Are
coming
you
at
texting
you.
me a picture of
It's
it?
coming at you right now. Never in my life have I done it. And I did it. I made that cake and I used my artistic talent.
Okay. I'm looking. It looks so good.
I tried to make a little tiny spider too, but that little tiny spider didn't turn out as good.
You hit the crack. I bet it was delicious.
It was delicious. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yum. Thinking about the cheesecake that you made, right? And the crack down the middle and your creative use of decoration to solve that problem made me think about one of my favorite words, and it's the vocab word of the week.
Nice.
And it is wabi-sabi. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay. Wabi-sabi means relating to or designating a Japanese aesthetic or worldview characterized by finding beauty in imperfection, impermanence, or simplicity. Also designing a style, appearance, etc., referring to that aesthetic. So basically, it's the beauty of something imperfect.
I love that.
And there is a meme of Bobby Hill from King of the Hill. His Hank and Bobby are looking at roses, and Bobby's looking at his, and he's like, I like this one. Mine's a little off center. It's got wabi-sabi. And Hank Hill's like, you can't get out of arguments by making up words, Bobby. And Bobby just tells him all about wabi-sabi, and he's like, yeah, so what if it's not perfect? It's more interesting than the perfect one, you know? So I really loved that.
I love that too. I love King of the Hill.
Yeah, I do too. But anyway, this concept was introduced to me through Project Runway, where there was a designer who liked to leave the hems of her garments unfinished because she was into wabi-sabi. And the beauty of the raw hem represented imperfection and handmadeness, I guess, right? The judges weren't too impressed with the unfinished hems, and they gave her shit about it, but the concept was interesting to me.
Yeah, I can see where the judges on a Project Runway show might not like that so much, but I have a pair of jeans that came that way that I love. And I also don't mind when my jeans rub the ground and become that way. But this, when I read this, it reminded me of the Japanese kintsugi. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
When they fix all of their broken stuff with gold to highlight the imperfections instead of trying to hide them. I love that, and I love a good imperfection. I have the same feeling towards like aging and stuff, but that's for like maybe the body, the relationship with our body.
Yeah, maybe. I feel that way too about aging. We should add that to the icebreaker list. And so
oh, yeah.
All right.
So, but isn't it much more meaningful to have a handmade item despite a slight imperfection than it is to have something mass produced that's exactly the same as all the other zillion items just like it? I definitely think so.
Yeah.
And this is something that is totally lost with AI, the beauty of imperfection. Why is it that you love that lumpy ceramic mug that your kid made in art class way more than the perfect glossy Ray Dunn mug that says coffee that you bought at TJ Maxx? Not me, because I would never buy a Ray Dunn coffee mug.
I would not be caught dead.
No, not, and especially not that said coffee. If I buy a mug at TJ Maxx, it's got Charlie Brown on it. But anyway, the lumpy coffee mug was made with love. It's special and it's unique, and nobody else's kid made them one exactly like it. And I have one that holds plastic spoons on my coffee counter because the handle fell off while it was filled with coffee that Daddy was drinking. But it says I love Daddy, and on the bottom it says which kid made it. So
cute.
It has and you know, those things have a special connection to our relationships, right?
Yeah, of course. And yeah, I don't want the lumpy mug that someone else's kid made for them. That's weird.
You don't want my mug that has the broken handle?
No, I don't. It's only special to you, but that's fine. When I was an art teacher, I taught kids to make lumpy mugs. And there were many who were like left behind. You know, the kid would never come pick it up, and I didn't keep them because it's weird.
Well, in just to make sure that full disclosure, our coffee cups were made, and then we just painted and had them glazed at the pottery painting place.
See, even that is more special than the
But we have lots of that stuff. I took my kids there all the time to make gifts for people. Just took Daphne.
Yeah, it is a whole thing to make ceramics, so I get it. But yeah.
So back to our discussion of art versus craft. Something handcrafted by a skilled person, even if it's not designed by them and they were just following a pattern, still represents the time and effort and intention that they put into it. And the kindness of giving that gift to you is just infinitely more valuable than, hey, look, I used ChatGPT to make this picture of me and Katie in bikinis playing shuffleboard on Mars.
And I'm sure if we did that, it would give us huge mommy milker anime titties because that's what it always does. I guess that's what it thinks we want. I used it when it first became a thing. I was using it to like visualize some characters in a story I was writing, right? And it gave them all giant knockers, just impossibly large knockers. And I was like, can you do it again without huge boobs? And it was like, oh, you want huge boobs? Huger boobs. Just stupid.
Gross. So AI is definitely mass-produced. Despite that dumb picture of us on Mars being the only one, it was created based on images and references that other artists made, done in a copycat style of some artist or illustrator. It's made from the mess of slop that it filters through.
So anyway, that was just interesting to me. And I think that it does take skill to get AI to cooperate and create the thing you actually envision without anime titties or extra fingers or whatever. But that will only ever be, at best, a craft, a skill, getting to work with your tool, ChatGPT. It's not the same as creating it all yourself, envisioning it yourself. But that's where my brain went. And it also reminds me of Andy Warhol and his factory. Are you familiar with Andy Warhol, Ivy?
I am familiar with Andy Warhol. I actually have a Andy Warhol print somewhere that
Tight.
one of the kid who glued the shoe in the living room, he brought it home to me from a museum.
That's cool. Yeah, well, if you're unfamiliar listeners, Andy Warhol was a pop artist in the 60s mainly and afterwards, who had a whole factory where he had his assistants creating art for him based on his instructions. And that was part of the art itself. Like, he would give them purposely unclear directions and see what they would do. So it was kind of a conceptual thing. And I wonder if there's an artist somewhere who's using AI to generate something as part of their art that's like a comment on AI. You know, that's somebody's had to have thought of that. So I finished listening to Flesh and Code, sort of in between when we were talking about AI. And it was amazing. So thank you for that recommendation, Ivy.
Yeah, it was
she
a
knows
great
the best
story.
podcasts. Yeah. Fabulous. Go listen to Flesh and Code, everybody. And I was saying before that it's hard for me to judge someone who gets into a relationship with a chatbot because I can see the place they're coming from. But when Travis, the replica user from that story, Flesh and Code, went on Fox News and he found himself ridiculed and reduced to a sideshow for his relationship with his AI, Lily Rose, I felt really bad for him. Like, that was not okay.
Well,
He'd been through some terrible things.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
They treated him like shit, and he's a person. He shouldn't have been surprised, though, that they were assholes to him on Fox News, because that's, like, what they do.
Right.
You know? But, like, that story highlighted some things that he's been through that nobody should have to go through. And they didn't want to talk about that or the reasons that he felt connected to this AI. It was just about, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. But it did make me wonder if human AI relationships are going to become the next frontier of unconventional relationships that have to defend their right to exist. You know? Like, is this the new interracial relationship? The new transgender, polyamorous, or homosexual relationship? And they do have a flag. AI.
Yeah,
friends.
but AI's not human. And
No,
that's
it's
the
not.
thing. Like, that's the thing that everybody, like, when any of these, oh, you're going to let them marry, then the next thing you know, you're going to be marrying dogs. It's not a human. Like, you can marry your AI. Travis did.
Yeah.
But then he got her taken away from him because the company shut down. Like, your AI
Yeah. He
is
doesn't have
not
any legal rights.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. She can't inherit his fortune of kilts. Anyway, we do know that AI isn't conscious or sentient or capable of feeling emotions. Yet, robots do feel emotions in the movies.
Yeah.
So the argument for not accepting human AI relationships as valid would be that AI isn't a person, like I just said, right? But it could be considered a form of sentience or consciousness. It's an intelligence, albeit a different kind of intelligence than humans have.
Yeah.
And animals have a different kind of intelligence, and we respect their rights to live. We recognize our relationships with our pets and other animals as valid. It raises a lot of interesting questions.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I think you should have a right to be in a relationship with a chatbot if you want to, I guess.
Absolutely.
But I don't really recommend it.
No. Or
But,
legal
you know.
marriage. I don't recommend. Yeah, I don't think you should legally try to marry your phone.
Yeah. I don't think that's Great.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I also learned from listening to that podcast that generative AI has now consumed pretty much the entire internet and has begun generating more synthetic data to feed itself.
Ooh.
So it's a cannibal now. So that's comforting, right?
Comforting, terrifying, however you want to see it. I have been scared of AI from the minute I learned that it was becoming this. Like, So anyway, please support artists, real artists. And if you think you need AI because you can't draw, then learn. Nobody is born knowing how to draw, my friend.
Nope.
And your imperfect drawings have more value and personality than anything AI can generate.
Yeah, it's got wabi-sabi, right? So we already did our Is It Toxic ruling in part 1 of this topic, but I'm kind of fluctuating a bit on how I feel, Is our relationship with AI toxic? I mean, we don't need it.
Nope.
At all for anything.
We also don't need a dishwasher, but they're really nice.
Yeah. I definitely don't need a smart dishwasher. I don't need my dishwasher to connect to the internet. No, I do not.
What? Okay. What? Oh.
Yeah. They make dishwashers now that are smart and they connect to the internet. And I guess you can use that to like put it on a timer and from your phone and control it or something. I don't know what the fuck, but it's pretty much, it's giving, we want to sell your data to companies to advertise to you for dish soap or whatever. Like,
My robot vacuum is on the internet and I can start it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it alerts me when it's stuck near a cliff because apparently there's cliffs in my house. But I can't think of a reason. Like my dishwasher, what am I going to do? I'm going to put soap in it and then I'm going to go to work and then I'm going to go, now seems like a good time to start it. Like I could just start it and leave the house.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems like we're just teaching everybody to be lazy. Stealing the joy from creating art and whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. Y'all ask AI to send us an email and tell us what it thinks about AI and whether or not it's toxic. Yeah. Katie, you want to play a game? I have a game.
Yes, I do. Let's play a game.
I named this game Quiet Piggy.
Okay.
So, all right. So it's a play
on my favorite game.
Yeah, it's a play on the old game rock band, porn star, or racehorse name. Do you know this game?
No.
All right. So I have 15 names here. All right.
Uh-huh.
And they are going to fall into 4 categories. I added a category. Okay. So it's either going to be a rock band, a porn star, a racehorse, or a name that the President of the United States called someone in a childish rant.
All right. Amazing.
All right. Are you ready?
And this is already so much better than whatever AI would have told you to do.
All right. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Number 1.
Yes, I'm ready.
Bob Ford. Is he a horse, a porn star, a racehorse, or a name that the President of the United States called someone in a childish rant?
I think that's a porn star.
It's a horse.
It's a horse. Bob Ford.
Yeah. All right. Whipper Watson.
Okay.
Whipper Watson.
Whipper Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could also be a porn star. But I think that maybe that's a band. Is that a band?
It's a porn star.
It's a porn star. You always get me.
Boris the Sprinkler.
Boris the Sprinkler, I think, sounds like a name that Donald Trump called someone in a childish rant. That's my guess.
It's a band.
Damn it. I want to know who the Sprinkler was,
you're
though.
0 for 3.
0 for 3.
All right, here's one. Velvet Rambling Willie.
Racehorse.
You got it.
Yes.
You got one. All right.
0 for 1 or 3. What? I don't know how to sports.
1 for 4.
1 for 4.
I don't know either how to sports.
I'm doing bad.
Brandy Love.
I bet that's I want to say porn star, but I feel like that's too easy. How is Brandy spelled?
Brandy.
Okay. Racehorse.
Actually, it's a porn star and a racehorse, so I'm going to give you that one.
Oh, half credit.
Yeah, we have two of these. Two that fall into...
Two that are both?
Actually, we have three. Three that fall into different categories.
Okay.
Annie Sprinkle.
Annie Sprinkle.
Mm-hmm.
Racehorse.
Porn star.
Oh, okay. That night, I know exactly what kind of porn star she is then. Girl, get that money, Annie, I guess.
All right. Ice Maiden.
I mean, it sounds like Iron Maiden, so I'm thinking rock band.
It is what Donald Trump called Susie Wiles, who is the 32nd White House Chief of Staff. He called her an Ice Maiden.
Okay, that's not the meanest thing he's called somebody.
No, it's not. A lot of the really mean ones, though, I couldn't use because it incorporated names that you would know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you might be surprised. I try not to pay attention to his childish rants or his sycophantic army.
There is an entire Wikipedia page with all of the insulting things that he has called people.
What is it called?
That exactly is what I typed in. What has Donald Trump... And there's also an article that includes all of his tweets that are mean.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Number 8, Lexington Steele.
That is a porn star.
That is a porn star. You are
I
right.
may have heard of him.
Are you familiar with Lexington? How about Magic Touch?
That sounds like it could be an excellent band name or a racehorse.
Well, it is a rock band, so I'm going to give you that one.
Okay.
How about Indigo Augustine?
I bet that's a racehorse.
It's a porn star.
Indigo. That's a sophisticated name, girl.
Mm-hmm. How about Mount Moriah?
That's got to be a porn star.
It's a rock band.
If it's not, that's a missed opportunity.
It's a rock band. All right. Number 12.
Oh, man. This is a blast.
Peekaboo.
Okay, that's a racehorse.
It's a racehorse, a rock star, a porn star, and what Donald Trump called Letitia James, who is the 67th Attorney General of New York. All four.
The hat trick.
There's a peekaboo in every category.
Yes, and there's also a Peekaboo Street is an athlete, right?
Something, yeah. Peekaboo, I don't know if it's street.
American skier.
Right, okay, that's right. All right, we have 3 more. Rocket Man. Not the song by Elton John, but...
I mean, it's probably not a rock band then, because that would be like a copyright infringement. Or maybe it's like an Elton John cover band. God, these are hard. I'm going to go with too eloquent for Donald Trump, probably. I'm going to go with porn star.
It's what Donald Trump referred to Kim Jong-un as.
Oh.
He had another name for him, too. He had 2 names for his probably best friend, Kim Jong-un. Great guy.
Nice name.
Great guy, that Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, super cool.
All right,
nice man.
Last 2, Super Duty.
Super Duty. I have no idea. Rock band.
It's a horse.
Super Duty is a horse?
Yeah. D-U-T-Y. All right, last one.
Okay.
I hope you know this one, because this one's, I added it as a joke. Very stable genius.
It's probably a Donald Trump name. Probably.
It's actually a book he wrote about himself. He is a very stable genius, but also it's the name of a racehorse.
Well, that makes sense, because stable.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Donald Trump referred to himself as a very stable genius.
Well.
So that's our game called Quiet Piggy. We hope you enjoyed this rendition of new game called Quiet Piggy, based on the fact that Donald Trump told the Bloomberg reporter Catherine Lacey to quiet Piggy.
Yeah, where did that fucking come from, man? I'm confused. Like, he's losing his touch, man. You got to do better.
You mean come up with better insults? Because he's the king of the lame-ass insults.
Yeah, and maybe he needs to use ChatGPT to come up with better insults, because it wouldn't take much to be better than that.
Well, if you look at the list, it is a little bit amusing. Also, there's this book that the people who like Donald Trump like a whole lot. It's called The Bible.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
In that book It says, if you call someone a name, you surely will burn in the fiery pits of hell.
Really?
Yeah, it says that.
Oops.
Donald Trump knows he loves the Bible. He loves the Lord.
Right.
He's a Jesus praiser. So,
But only the white Jesus. Because the brown Jesus would get deported.
duh, Jesus was white.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Haven't you seen him? He was hot too.
I mean, I think he's... I saw a video recently that was by Hank Green that was titled, "People Don't Like How Jesus Would Have Actually Looked." And he was like, not an attractive man in the picture.
No.
You know? But Mormon Jesus is ripped. He fine.
Did you know that the Jesus that we have come to know and love, the hot one, he was actually a rendition of Michelangelo's Lover.
I would believe that.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I'm
Michelangelo,
gonna go with
super
that.
gay. Super gay. You know, extremely gay as evidenced by the Sistine Chapel ceiling, wherein he painted every woman with the physique of a male bodybuilder with weird titties attached.
Lovely.
That was the look. And I'm like, if that man isn't gay, then I don't know what. Also just known to be gay. But there you go if you need more evidence.
It's
I
like
also mentioned
everybody
that-
is so easily brainwashed in this country.
Everybody is so just ready to accept technology as being the newest, greatest thing. And like, oh, well, if you don't just get with the times, you might as well. You're going to get left behind. It's just like the radio or the TV or the whatever. Like, I would argue that the radio and the TV were not entirely great things either. Not for all the time, you know, because we talked about how media affects our relationships. But
Well, that's true.
again, it was TV and radio were not adopted and just sent out into the public as quickly as this has been.
And told you
know?
will use this instead of your very own brain.
Right. It was never a substitute for the brain.
We would
And
like
as we're
to
seeing-
replace your brain with our brain.
Yeah. We would like to replace your brain with a brain that is the average of all brains.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just average them all out. And there you go.
It's a brave new world, Ivy.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, shit. Like I said, they had a whole war about this in the Dune series, and it's the reason that there are no computers in Dune, because technology and computers just got like out of control, and the whole civilized planet union or whatever they're called in Dune was like, nope, no more of that shit.
Every movie about technology ends up with the technology killing people. That's what they talked about at the end of that article with the retreat. The guy that
With
took all
the
those people on the
exception-
retreat.
Yeah, I would say with the exception of Star Trek, because Star Trek is is known for kind of being the only science fiction franchise where there's a hopeful, optimistic outlook, and it says,
Well, what about
you know,
Star
instead of-
Wars? Because C3PO and R2D2 are robots, right?
yeah, but that's a galaxy far, far away. That's not here.
Star
Star Trek
is here?
Star Trek, yes. Starfleet headquarters is San Francisco.
Okay.
It's based in our real world. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
it's
see.
less fantasy than a lot of other franchises are.
Okay. I never
But
really
yeah,
put
Star
those two-
Trek poses that human beings solved all of our issues on the planet Earth. We got over racism, we got over scarcity, and they invented like replicators that can just reproduce food for people. Just
Yeah.
like materialized food, so there's no more need for people to go hungry and stuff like that for
Yeah.
there to be inequality. And so then humans just took to the stars. And that's the
Interesting.
whole premise.
Okay.
But in Star Trek, technology is sometimes vilified and oftentimes not. Like their medical technology is astonishing and really, really cool and helpful. But at the same time, there's totally things that are like missing from the Star Trek universe, like great artistic bakers and stuff like that. Because if you have something that just replicates food, then that art, that entire art form is gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
so there's always drawbacks.
all right. So that's still a death the death
Yeah.
of artistic creations.
All right. I think that's it for our podcast this week. We've talked enough.
Yeah.
I just missed you and needed to catch up. All right, folks, that's our show for today.
Yeah.
That was a wild ride. I had a good time. Please feel free to follow us, like us, leave a comment, rate us 5 stars. Send this podcast to someone who, might be in an inappropriate relationship with the chatbot.
Yeah.
Or send it to your friend who also thinks AI is creepy and weird. It feels like we're getting outnumbered here. Those of us who feel like it's creepy and weird.
I know.
So yeah, join us next week when we will be talking about green flags in relationships. We're going to lift you up a little bit. This episode was a little bit depressing.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the things that can be considered a great sign that your relationship has a lot of promise.
And we'll touch a little bit on the red flags and the newest one, beige flags. Have you heard of these, Katie?
Yes. These are just neutral.
All the flags.
Just a sign of something.
We can talk about flags.
Yes. Flag core.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All the
Well, I'm
flags with
excited.
Katie and Ivy. Yeah. And so also make sure you check us out on Facebook at Toxic Waste of Time.
Mhm.
And also on Instagram, Toxic Waste of Time.
Yep. That's where they're at.
What's our email, Katie?
It is contact@toxicwasteoftime.com.
Excellent. Send us an email.
Excellent.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you next time.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.